Hello everyone, myself Dr. Sonam Gupta, working as a professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. Today we are going to discuss attribute selection, a complex topic in CSS. So let's see what is attribute selector. So styles, they can be applied to HTML elements with particular attributes. Like for example, we can write input, then type is equal to, for example, as it is written over here, text, and then the color scheme can also be given over here. So then it will match all the input elements which is having a type, attribute, and the value should be text. So in this way, we can assign a CSS to a particular attribute as well. See in this example, suppose I want to have the CSS applied or the designing applied to just an attribute, that is ATTR. So what it will represent? It represents the elements with an attribute name of ATTR, that is the attribute. And suppose if I want to apply it over anchor tag, like we all know that anchor tag is a tag with elements with a title A attribute. So if I write over here A title purple, what it will do the coloring tag to all the titles which are appearing in that attribute A. Attribute is equal to value. If a particular value is assigned to it, it represents the elements with the attribute. The name of the attribute is ATTR and the exact value is given over here, which is this value. So if I write A, this is a tag, href, this is the attribute of the anchor tag, and this is the value that has been given and the color is said to be green. Next is ATTR star is equal to value. So it represents elements with an attribute name of attribute, that is ATTR, and whose value it will contain at least one occurrence with that string. So if I write a href star is equal to example, so that means the value must contain at least one recurrence of this example, like www.example.com or akgexample.com or university.com. So here there is a one occurrence of the word example. In all these cases, this CSS will work. But if I write www.abc.com, in that case, it will not work, because what it requires, since I had written asterisk over here, so it expects that at least one occurrence of this example must be there in that attribute. So let's see over here, ahref is equal to example and the color is meant to be cyan. So similarly, we can have the cases as well. So case anywhere, we can write here case and it will match with the capitalization as well. Next is the ATTR dollar is equal to value. So instead of star, if I write dollar, then what this dollar will represent? This dollar represents the suffix value, that is the like abcexample.com. So that means ABC example must be the suffix value for it, like href dollar is equal to .org. So all the links which is having .org in its suffix, the color scheme will be red. Okay. Similarly, if I want to see the preceding value, that means the prefix for it, just have to write this caret sign. Attribute caret is equal to value. That means the caret sign will be mentioned and it will be the prefix value, that is the preceding value should be like it. So caret is equal to HTTPS. That means the starting must be HTTPS. And dollar is equal to .org, that means the suffix, or we can say the ending, it must be .org. So any site which is starting from HTTPS and ending with .org, the attribute selection, it will be color will be of green color. So in this way, the attributes can be selected. Next is attribute tilde is equal to value. So that means it will include space separated list of words, one of which will be exact the value. So like over here, we are having a HTML file. So HTML tag is there, head tag, style tag, then title, tilde is equal to flower. That means exactly there will be a one word of flower. Then style tag is closed because this is a internal style sheet. Head tag is closed and then body tag is also closed over here. Now all the images, like the title is plant flower, title is the flower, title is the tree, So it will match the elements with the title flower. Anyone which will be having flower like plant flower is okay, flower is okay, but tree is not okay because there is no word flower mentioned in it. So any type of space separation also will work if I write over here tilt. This is a simple list UL, that means this is an unordered list. In this unordered list we are having 5 types of list which is having various examples like hash internal, example.com, sensitive, example.org, example.org. So based on our requirement we can change the CSS. Next is the OR sign is equal to value. So this particular selector, that is the pipeline, it is used to select all the elements whose value it has a hyphen separated list of values which is beginning with the specified value which is mentioned. The value, it can be a whole world either alone or it can be followed by a hyphen, like here it is top hyphen header. So we had made the class OR is equal to top, that means the word should come to be top. So all the hyphen separated will also come into it. Top underscore header, top hyphen header, top hyphen text, but top content, it will not work. Why? Because it is not hyphen separated. So for this there is no match, so CSS will not be applied over it, but since top is hyphen separated in header and text, CSS will be applied in it. There are some more examples. So all the divisions with the lang attribute, if I want them bold, so div, that particular lang, weight, font weight we can change as we have discussed in earlier recordings as well, that is bold. Without, for not making that lang, what we can need to do, we just have to include this parenthesis. If I write over here parenthesis, that means it will not be included. Next is the grouping selectors. Like if I want the same CSS to be applied to many of the elements, so what I can do, I can group them all in a once. So for that grouping selector, what we have to do, we just have to write, suppose I am having 3 types of heading, H1, H2, H3 as given in this slide. So I want that color scheme, font weight, letter spacing, margin, text, these are all the styling that I need to be applied over these heading styles. So earlier what I need to do, I have to write H1, then all the styling sheet, H2, then all the styling sheet, H3, then all the styling sheet, and similarly the process will go on. But now here what I can do, I can club all these things in a single row like H1, H2, H3. So that means I do not have to write all the styling things again and again. Just mention H1, H2, H3, or we can mention anything, any other element which require the same styling, and the order of the list, this is irrelevant. The order will not matter in it. And similarly, we can group the various ID selectors as well. For the ID selector, we know hash is to be used. By writing hash, then ID selector, this will be working. Next is importing CSS. How we can import our external CSS into our program. For that, we have to import it in the head tag. In head tag, just mention the head tag will be opened at import and then the URL will be given. And finally, this head tag will be closed. Just by the help of this particular syntax, the external style sheet will be imported in my particular program. So, @import URL like mystyle.css. So, this will be included in it. Next is CSS rules overriding. What are the various rules for overriding CSS? What is the sequence? How the CSS will behave? Which CSS will have more value than the another one? So, any inline style sheet that takes the higher priority. Any of the inline sheet, if it is available, then it is of the highest priority. So, it will override any rule defined in the style tag or rules which are defined in any of the external style sheet file. Any rule which is defined in style tag will override the defined in any external file sheet. That means inline will have more priority. After that, any other style sheet which is mentioned in the style tag within the program, that is the internal style sheet, it will be of the second priority and more than the external style sheet. Any rule which is defined in external style sheet file, it will take the lowest priority. So, external style sheet, it will be of the lowest priority, and the rules which are defined in the file, it will be applied only when these two rules, they are not applicable. Only then it will be applied. Now, the problem is that many of the browsers, that the old browsers are there which do not support CSS. So, while embedding the CSS into the HTML document as a HTML document, we need to take care of that. So, for that we write style type is equal to text/CSS. So, if the browser is not supporting the CSS, it will be reading it as a text file. Now, next comes, there are various CSS selectors which are used to find, or we can say they are used to select the HTML elements that we want to style. So, basically the CSS selectors are divided into these 5 categories: simple selector, combinator selector, pseudo class selectors, pseudo element selectors, and finally the attribute selectors. Now, let's see what these selectors do one by one. Simple selectors, as we have discussed, it will include name, ID selector and the class selector. We have also discussed the difference between ID and the class selectors as well. The difference was that an ID selector can be applied to only one tag at a time. If it is applied to one tag, then to the same tag it will not be applied again. And the class selector, it can be applied to any number of elements to any number of time. Combinator selectors, it select the elements based on the specific relationship between them. Third one is the pseudo class selectors. They select the elements based on a certain state. Pseudo element selectors, they select and style a part of the element. And finally, the attribute selectors, they select elements based on an attribute, or we can say of the attribute value. Along with this, we are having a universal selector. Universal selector, as is shown, is mentioned by asterisk. So, it selects all the elements of the HTML which are available on a page. If I want that all the elements which are existing on my HTML page, they have a particular property which should be uniform, then I just have to mention a uniform, that is universal selector. Like here, text align center and color blue. So, throughout the page, the color will be blue and the text will be aligned in a center format. Grouping selectors, as we have discussed just now, it will select all the HTML elements with the same style definitions, and the selectors, they select with a comma like H1, H2, P. So, this alignment and the color will be applicable to all the elements, that is heading 1, heading 2 and the paragraph tag. To all these things it will be visible. Next is combinator. So, a combinator, it explains the relationship between the selectors, like between the simple selectors. We can include the combinations as well. There are 4 combinations which are available in CSS, like descendant selector, which is a space, child selector, which is a greater than sign, adjacent sibling selector, which is a plus sign, and general sibling selector, which is a tilde sign. So, we will be discussing all these 4 selectors one by one. Descendant selector, it matches all the elements which are descendant of a specified element. Like if I write in this example div p, so it will select all the p elements which are inside the div, because div p means p is a descendant of this div element, and for all those things the background will be done yellow. If I say child selector, it means it will select all the elements that are the children of a specified element. So, here for P it will work anywhere the P is a child of div. For all these things the background color will be done to be yellow. Adjacent sibling selectors, that is a plus. If the siblings are adjacent to each other, which is used to select element, which is directly after any other specific element. So siblings, the nature of sibling is that they must have the same parent element. And adjacent, what adjacent means? It means immediately following. So here if I write div plus p, that means P should be a sibling selector to div and P should come immediately after div. Only for those cases, the background color will be yellow. Let's see over here. Style tag, div plus P. Here, background color is said to be yellow. So, what was P? P we know, adjacent selector. In the body tag, we are having div, then P tag, P, and then div is closed. What is here? P is a child element of div over here, but what we are requiring? We are requiring a sibling. So, it will not work, the CSS will not work for it. Again, after this div, this P is written paragraph 3 after a div. So, this particular P is arriving just after this div. Okay. So, what will happen? This CSS, background color yellow, it will be applicable to this particular tag. After that again, P paragraph 4 after a div, but this P tag is appearing after a P tag. So, it is not a adjacent selector. Again, we have written div after P. So, but P should be adjacent selector to div, sibling to it. Div cannot be because it is not the other way around. Here div, paragraph P, in this div, P is written, then 6 in the div. Again, they are parent-child relationship. P paragraph 7 after a div, so it will be applicable to this and it will not be applicable to paragraph 8. So, let's see the output. Paragraph 3 after a div and paragraph 7 after a div. 1 and 2, why? Because for 1 and 2, they were the parent-child relationship. For paragraph 4, it was not a adjacent sibling. Paragraph 5 and 6, again, that was a parent-child relationship. And for paragraph 7, it will work. Paragraph 8, why? Because that was not a adjacent selector. So, in this way, by having various combinations, we can see how and where by the help of the attributes and by the help of these various selections, we can get a flexible CSS. Next is the general sibling selector. So, it will have all the elements that are next siblings of a specified element. Here the condition is not that it should be just after that particular element. So, let's see in this example again. Div P, but here P, this is a child element of div, it will not work. Paragraph 3 and 4, they are the siblings of div. Again div and P, then again paragraph P and 7 and 8. The output will be, this will be the output. After a div, then again after a div, it will work. So, here same code, no effect. Background color with a tilt, sign yellow. Div paragraph P1, this is a parent-child relationship. Paragraph 2, code, no effect. Then paragraph 3. And if we see the output, paragraph 2 and paragraph 3, it will be having the color background yellow. Why? Because here paragraph 3 and this one, they are the general siblings of this div, because they are appearing after div. So, they are the siblings of div, they are on the same level. So, thereby it can help over it. Next is pseudo classes. So, a pseudo class, they are used to define a special state of an element, like it can style when a mouse goes over a particular element, how to style visited, unvisited links, when a style it will go, when it will focus on it. So, syntax is selector, pseudo class, then property and its value. Anchor pseudo classes, like for unvisited link, we can have a link. This is pseudo class, color can be changed. For the visited link, a visited, color can be changed. Hover can be it, color will be changed, and active color can be changed. So, these are the various pseudo classes. So, here what we need to do, know that a hover, it must come after a link, and a visited in the CSS, so that it is order, the effective order must be maintained in it. If it is not defined in an correct order, it will not work, and pseudo classes names, they are not case sensitive. Here what we can know that if I take the mouse to a particular position, if if in this example, for the unvisited link, first we have mentioned the CSS. Okay, so then after for the visited link, for if the how the mouse will work, if the selected link it is of any other color, then it will not work for it. So the sequence has to be maintained in it. So this is the major thing which we must come to know, and by having all these attribute selectors keeping in mind, we can have a better CSS. Any type of element can work in it. So in this way, particular attribute selection will work.